Hello, you're kicking off the Monday's edition of Qpvn English News Bulletin with me, Linh Chi, and come to headlines. Party General Secretary Tô Lâm offers incense in tribute to martyrs in DIEN province. Memorial service for fallen heroes of Regiment 1 held. Vietnam and India promote trade ties. On the occasion of the 70th anniversary of Wounded Veterans and Martyrs Day on July the 27th, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm offered flowers and incense in commemoration of heroes and martyrs at the Martyrs Temple at the Điện Biên Phủ battlefield and the A1 National Martyrs Cemetery in the Northern Martyrs province of Điện Biên. In a solemn atmosphere, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm and the working delegation showed their profound gratitude to late President Ho Chi Minh, the hero of national liberation and a great man of culture, and General Võ Nguyên Giáp, the elder brother of the Vietnam People's Army, along with officers, soldiers, youth volunteers, frontline workers, and the armed forces people across the country who fought heroically and sacrificed their lives for the Điện Biên Phủ victory that shook the world and resounded across the 5 continents. The Martyrs Temple at the Điện Biên Phủ battlefield is located on Hill F, part of the Điện Biên Phủ battlefield historical site complex, which was recognized as the special natural relic site. The work has a unique architecture with harmonious combination of historical, cultural, landscape, and traditional religious elements, worthy of the victory and great sacrifices of the martyrs and people across the country for the Điện Biên Phủ battlefield. At the A1 National Martyrs Cemetery, the party leader wrote in the memorial book that the sacrifices of heroes and martyrs and the people laid the foundation for the Điện Biên Phủ victory, opening a glorious new chapter in Vietnam's historical and paving the way for the country's development. On this occasion, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm and the delegation visited the family of Mr. Phạm Văn Ngân, born in 1934 in Điện Biên Phủ Ward. Mr. Ngân, who suffers a 41% disability, is the war veteran who fought in the Battle of Hill A1 during the Điện Biên Phủ campaign. The Party General Secretary wished Mr. Phạm Văn Ngân good health to be a spiritual support for his children and grandchildren to follow, thus further promoting the first tradition of Anglo soldier. On the occasion of the 78th anniversary of the Wounded Veterans and Martyrs Day, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính offered incense and flowers at the temple of President Ho Chi Minh and foreign heroes in Dong Hới Wat in the Long Đại Ferry Terminal historical site. In a solemn ceremony at the temple of President Ho Chi Minh, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and his entourage observed a moment of silence to honor President Ho Chi Minh and the heroic martyrs who sacrificed their lives for national liberation, reunification, and the people's well-being. He asked the local authorities and people to build on the province's proud revolutionary traditions, further promote the movement of starting and flowing President Ho Chi Minh thought, morality, and lifestyle, contributing to a strong, civilized, and prosperous nation. Later on, the delegation offered incense at Long Đại Ferry Terminal historical site in Trường Ninh Common. During the resistance war against the American imperialists, the terminal served as a critical supply route on the legendary Trường Sơn Trail, amid endured relentless bombing by U.S. forces. In the face of danger, Vietnamese soldiers, youth volunteers, and local military force stood firm to protect ferry ships, timely served the cause of South liberation and national reunification. In the same morning, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and the delegation offered incense and inspected the ongoing restoration of Long Đại 2 ferry terminal site, where 16 youth volunteers from former Thái Bình province, now Hưng Yên, laid down their lives, 15 of whom died in the U.S. bombing on September 19, 1972. The Prime Minister expressed his hope that the site will soon be completed, creating a cultural and spiritual complex along the Long Đại River, and serve as a place for educating younger generations about patriotism and revolutionary traditions. On July the 27th in Hanoi, the Hanoi Capital Reinforcement Veterans Association held a ceremony marking the 50th anniversary of its founding day and launched Volume 7 of the book, War Memories, a publication honoring a generation of young Hanoians who fled scorned for the battlefield during the resistance war against the American imperialists. The book comprised hundreds of vivid writings, personal recollections, and documents from veterans who once crossed the Chungsan Ridge to fight in some of the fiercest battlefields. Every page offers a slice of history and an authentic voice of a generation that helped secure the nation's great victories with their youth and sacrifice. On July the 27th, at the Martyrs Temple, Regiment 1 in Hưng Phú, Western City, the Liaison Committee of Regiment 1 U Minh held a memorial service for the unit's fallen heroes. In a solemn atmosphere, officers, soldiers, and local residents paid heartfelt tribute to the martyrs who sacrificed their youth and lives for national liberation, reunification, and international obligations. Formed on September 23, 1933, Regiment 1, also known as U Minh Regiment, was the first regular unit on the southwestern battlefield. Throughout their combat history, the regiment's troops achieved numerous feats of arms, forging its proud tradition. The event offered today's generations an occasion to express profound gratitude to the enduring legacy of those who gave their all for the fatherland. July, the month of gratitude, returns as the touching reminder of the silent sacrifices of soldiers. They placed the nation above their youth, enduring hardship and loss to win independence and freedom for the people. And when the war ended, they did not choose to rest in glorious memories, but instead took on new responsibilities, beginning a new journey to rebuild and develop the country in peacetime.
Vì đất nước ta ra đi xây đời hạnh phúc cho mai sau thua lòng mong ước của Bác Hồ. Đêm ngày hằng mong là công sức ta xây nên đất trời Tổ quốc thêm xanh tươi thua lòng mong ước của Bác Hồ. Đêm ngày hằng mong.
Hôm nay,
today, on behalf of the party and the state, I would like once again to express my deep gratitude, sincere respect, and profound admiration to the veterans, those who bravely fought, sacrificed, and dedicated their youth and lives for the independence and freedom of our homeland. The party, the state, and our people have always upheld a consistent view. Those who rendered service to the revolution are a priceless asset of the nation, a sacred symbol of patriotism and the moral tradition of Vietnam.
Là biểu tượng thiêng liêng của lòng yêu nước và đạo lý Việt Nam.
Honoring those who rendered service to the nation is not only a major policy, but also a command from the heart, a political responsibility and moral obligation shared by the entire political system and society.
Dù đi đâu, về đâu,
no matter where we go or how we grow, we always remember our roots, especially our predecessors, who endured hardship and sacrifice. To better care for those who served the revolution, the Party and State of Vietnam have issued many timely policies. In particular, in 2025, new policies were introduced and implemented across localities nationwide, continuing the commitment to supporting those who sacrificed their blood and youth for the independence and freedom of the fatherland. Every July, a deep, indescribable emotion rises in the hearts of the veterans who once fought on the battlefield. Warm memories long thought to be at rest return with a sense of incense offered in remembrance. For veterans of Company 5, Đồng Tháp Regiment 1, including veteran Nguyễn Thế Đệ, July the 27th is not only a day of national gratitude, but also a sacred moment to return to their memories and to reunite with a beloved comrade, Martyr Dương Chiến Đoàn. Though the war ended over half a century ago, the bonds of brotherhood and gratitude lives on. Each year, as if by silent promise, they return to the martyrs' home with incense and timeless stories.
Anh Đoàn dẫn anh em của đại đội 5
Đoàn and Company 5 fought the enemy in the outpost. At first, our firepower was strong. They panicked and were defeated. Then they tried to retreat into underground bunkers, but couldn't due to technical issues. As our gunfire grew fainter, they counterattacked. Dương Chiến Đoàn was killed early on August 29, 1974. For the peace we have today, there were those who never returned. They remained on the battlefield, their bodies resting in the earth, their blood and bones becoming the very lodging for national independence and freedom. For nearly half a century, surviving comrades like Veteran Day have lived with a deep and lasting sense of duty to fight, identify, and bring their fallen brothers home. We are doing everything we can to find his grave and confirm his identity to honor his contribution to Company 5, Đông Tháp Regiment 1, to the Liberation Army of South Vietnam, and to our nation's unification. This is the shared wish of all comrades who once fought by his side, including us. Even now, we divide tasks among ourselves, searching for clues, searching out to others, hoping that those who rest in the next world may feel some warmth. The memories of battle remain as vivid as if they happened just yesterday. Though time has silvered their hair, the eyes of former soldiers still hold a quiet longing for the comrades who never met at home. For them, the journey to find the graves of martyrs to recover their names, their memories, and the promises left unfinished is not only a duty, but a sacred bond that ties together those who once stood shoulder to shoulder in war. Still alive in their hearts are memories of a brother, a beloved comrade forever in his 20s. That memories is both a source of pride and a driving force for veterans like Mr. Hoàng Văn Hùng, who once fought beside Dương Chiến Đoàn to keep fulfilling the promise they made long ago. Coming up next. Lạng Sơn adjusts custom clearance time for goods at some borders. Vietnam and India promote trade ties. The Dong Dang Lạng Sơn Border Gate Economic Zone Management Board had just received letter number 71/2025 dated July the 25th, 2025 from the People's Government of Pangxiangxi City, Guangxi, China, informing about the temporary adjustment of custom clearance time for import and export of goods at Tân Thanh Freight Road and Cốc Nam Customs Clearance. Accordingly, from now to August the 31st, 2025, the time for import and export of goods at Tân Thanh Freight Road will be adjusted to pilot custom clearance time starting from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Hanoi time. For Cốc Nam Custom Clearance from now to August the 31st, 2025, the pilot will be conducted on weekends, New Year's Day and holidays with advance appointments. Custom clearance time starts from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Hanoi time. Recently, the Vietnam Trade Office in India hosted an online seminar themed Strategy to Enter the Indian Market, Guidelines for Establishing Legal Entities in India for Vietnamese Businesses. The event attracted representatives from nearly 100 Vietnamese businesses operating in fields of processed food, seafood, agricultural products, electrical equipment, furniture, logistics, tourism, and technology. In his opening remarks, Mr. Bùi Trung Thương, Vietnam's trade counselor in India, emphasized that India is currently the world's fourth largest economy with a population of over 1.46 billion. Along with steady growth, India's middle class is expanding rapidly, driving increasing demand for consumption, investment, and trade. In the context of global efforts to diversify supply chains and seek alternative markets, India is emerging as the new hub for manufacturing, consumption, and transshipments both regionally and globally. During the event, consultant expert Manan Awarwan guided businesses in selecting the appropriate legal model, including representative office, branch office, or project office. He recommended the businesses to prepare thoroughly in terms of legal issues, market strategy, product localization, and intellectual property protection. The establishment process can take between 3 to 6 months, requiring a resident representative in India and a permanent local address. Through the discussions, participants agree that utilizing professional, experienced consulting services in India can have shortened procedural timelines, ensure legal compliance, and allow enterprises to focus on building business strategies, operations, and market penetration. Over the past term, some Vietnamese companies have established legal entities, invested in production, and opened representative offices in India, such as VinFast, Vietnam Airlines, and Viet Travel. Despite initial challenges related to legal and administrative procedures, their results have demonstrated clear effectiveness, contributing to market expansion and improved access to local consumers and partners. The Vietnam Trade Office in India reaffirms its commitment to continuing to support the Vietnamese business community in assessing the Indian market through trade promotion activities, legal consultation, partner connection, and thematic workshops in the coming time. It is the end of the English News Bulletin today. Watch a news again at qpvn.vn. Goodbye and see you next time.